Now that you've signed up for this course, we're going to get ready to get rolling into it, and we want to get into the content right away. If you're new to this web development, if you're a newbie, that's not a problem. We have written this course in a way that we take our time to explain everything. We go very slowly. We have a companion book that also goes into a little more detail to help you out with some of the concepts of this course. Now, if you already have some web experience, that's good as well, because what we want to do is share with you some of the best practices, especially in dealing with some of the new technologies and the new tags that are involved with HTML5, and especially CSS3. There's a lot of really new and really neat things that we can do with CSS3, so we want to bring that to the forefront to give you some skills that a lot of people that are developing websites don't have yet. So this will put you ahead of the competition.
We have so much going on with this course, and as Phil mentioned, first you get a companion ebook, and this corresponds to each chapter throughout the course, and it details all of the best practices, tips, and the takeaways, and this could be an easy reference guide that you can use throughout your professional development. You'll get a badge certifying your completion, of course, when you finish the course, and a donation to the North Bay Literacy and Breakfast Club of Canada will be made on your behalf. Over 8 hours of video content, all of the code files, the resources, the images are going to be easily accessible for you to use in all of your projects. Quizzes will be there to test your knowledge of the subject matter, and you'll have lifetime access to the course. So as we add things, you're going to have access to all of that. You can also add all of this to your portfolio once it's complete as well, which is really great. And of course, our bonus. So we're going to offer you a free Udemy course, and this is going to be on creating a business web application. So as soon as you write a review, you will have a 100% off coupon code for Udemy for that course. So we're very excited to get started. Let's go.
So what we want to do is take a minute to take a look at some of the projects that we're going to build throughout this entire course. And at the very beginning, we started with this simple website.
So this website is created with the new HTML5 structure tags, and then we're going to look at using the CSS to style it, adding images, and getting these links to work. The next thing that we're going to recreate is this, and you can see that when you roll over these, they have this nice transition as you hover over them. So we're going to look at how to recreate this exactly.
We're also going to take a look at some of the new things you can do with images. For example, here is some HTML text, but what you can see in the background is there's actually a picture that's kind of being tiled in the background about I love San Francisco. We also have this effect where you can see down below the image the actual reflection, and we actually have to throw a little gradient on that reflection just so you can see it slowly fading away as you move further down the page. We have this kind of effect too, where we'll go inside of Photoshop and show you how to make a little mask like this, and then we actually have a background image, and then we put a mask over top of that standard image.
There's some really neat things that you can do with SVG graphics and tie in your CSS to get some interesting things to happen. So this particular graphic, all of these elements that you can look at individually, doing some interesting kind of animation type style things to it. So we're going to look at recreating that.
This is also our first responsive web design, and so this is what it looks. This particular site looks like when it's on a desktop. Now, as I shrink it down so it goes to the tablet, we get a slightly smaller banner. The text mobile times in the top left corner gets smaller. The navigation moves to a different location, so you can see how it moves around. And then we get down to the phone size, you'll now notice that the navigation looks completely different and has these little arrows. So we have it set up as bars as opposed to just regular buttons. And the mobile times, the text that we had at the top left corner has also disappeared. So we'll be showing you how to do something like that as a responsive web design.
Next thing we look at is HTML5 form tags. And so there's a number of really cool and interesting things. So for email specifically, if you're on a mobile device, we'll have that keyboard pop up. Same with your phone number, you'll have your number pad come up, and so that's really great. Then there's also even things like the date and choosing a particular color. So these are kind of a few of the new and more interesting things that you can have. We have checkboxes and radio boxes as well. So we're going to be building this form.
Now this is kind of a neat one where we're going to be learning a little bit about JavaScript, and we're going to build up towards this. So for example, you can enter in a year like 2016, and I can say, is it a leap year? You see down here, even though this is a static web page, we're actually dynamically putting content in, and it says that 2016 is a leap year. And of course, if you were to change that to 2017, and then say check it, see if it's a leap year. You can see it's not a leap year. Go over here to the countdown. Again, a static HTML page, but we're putting in dynamic content. You can see how we're counting down to midnight. We also have this feature. We're going to learn about animation, and this is an animation using Canvas and using a sprite sheet. And so you'll be learning how to do this sort of thing as well. And we have another kind of animation, and this is known as the DOM animation. So when I move the mouse over top, it flips, and then it can flip back. So we can do this, and although it's maybe not the best type of animation because it's not very readable once it flips, but it's a neat way of being able to animate it. And believe it or not, there's actually no JavaScript coding involved with it to do this. That's all CSS. And we have over here one of our final animations is where we click on this and you can actually now start to fade in between the content. So rather than having content always popping up, you can actually fade in, fade out. And that is basically taking us to the end of chapter 10, where we're learning about DOM animation.
All right, so we'll see you inside, and we're going to get started with creating our very first website. See you in there.